Goedenavond, dames en heren. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this program, during which you will listen to poems by Zang from China, Gozo Yoshimasu from Japan, and Marianne Morris from Canada. My name is Tseerd Bruinja, and I will be your host tonight. The introductions will be bilingual. The Dutch introductions are a bit more elaborate than the English ones. If you would like to know more about these poets or read their poems again, please visit poetry.nl. And please check your phones, because yesterday there were some people who were beheaded afterwards. De gelauwerde Japanse dichter Gozo Yoshimasu is inmiddels op leeftijd, maar nog steeds wordt hij gezien als een pionier. Beweging is kenmerkend voor zijn poëzie. Hij experimenteert op het grensvlak van gedichten, beeldende kunst en film, vaak in samenwerking met andere kunstenaars. Zelf zegt hij daarover: het is mijn doel om de poëzie die aan de basis ligt van de podiumkunsten terug te eisen. Yoshimasu leverde een grote bijdrage aan de poëtische stroming het jaren 60 radicalisme, door het inspireren van kosmische en ultramoderne sensaties van Rushing en het ontketenen van de primitieve energie die inherent is aan alle taal. In de jaren 70 veranderde zijn stijl geleidelijk. Haastige impulsen ebden weg en werden overgenomen door beheerste stembuigingen, terwijl zijn taaluitingen zich steeds meer gingen concentreren op luisteren. In de jaren 80 werd zijn werk shamanistischer. De dichter leek te communiceren met geesten en stemmen uit het universum. De poëzie die hij hiermee voortbracht lijkt bijna meer op een partituur dan een gedicht. Herhalingen, referenties, meerstemmigheid, onderbrekingen, subscripts, witregels en kanttekeningen ontregelen de narrativiteit van zijn gedichten en benadrukken tegelijkertijd de werking en visuele representatie van het Japans. Hij zal lezen uit een lang gedicht, de Ishikari Felon. Gozo Yoshimasu has constantly been pioneering unexplored linguistic landscapes in Japanese modern poetry. He was one of the poets who contributed greatly to the so-called 60s radicalism. In the 70s, his style gradually transformed itself. Rushing impulses were taken over by walking cadences, while his utterance evolved more and more around listening. In the 80s, he took on a shamanistic role to commune with spirits of the land, or as a receptor to capture voices of the universe, creating poems that look more like a musical score than a text. In recent years, he has expanded his form of expression to photography and other visual arts, conceiving a series of poetic cosmoses that break through linguistic limitations. This so-called Gozo zine transcends the language in the strict sense of the word and creates a kind of transitional in-between space of various languages. A galaxy where sounds, letters, and voices with their own sparkles swarm in and swirl around, and even images freely flow in a Gozo world. Let's enter that Gozo world with Gozo Yoshimasu.
Ishikari shitsu kami mado ni hozue shiroi inku no ikkakuju nureta yama no vision o futto omoi ukabete hanaをあげた。一角獣は際に似た幻獣であろうが、作者の心には白い小さな子の姿、あるいは養蚕の 神の像が浮かんでいた。中国のどこか奥地の木の姿。どこか奥地の木の姿。大気に落ちる星。静かな死。猛雷の丘に登るピッチャーもいないのに、ウイキョウの花が咲いていた。河口は巣。浜の巣は薄いベールの丘の上を指を濡らしてかたどっていた。黄色帽子のフェニキアの水夫が小さい花のように揺れている。立ち止まってしばらくして戻ってごらん。そこが幽霊の家の入り口で、しわになっちゃった。天の神裏、河原でいが死になっちゃった逆立ちをしてと、緑泥の古陶器の水滴がつぶやいた。Yes。イメージも咳をする。朝一という美しい名の響きを聞いていた。ブラックオールドシティカブリオレが来て止まった。誰も乗ってはいない。浅くオールを引いているドルフィンは知っていた。惑星の手のひらのくぼみ、あささささ、あささささ、どこか奥地の木の姿。虹の幽霊がこっさを吹く。枕言葉のように浮かんだちっつこ北石狩衛生センター。丘の綴りがしわしわになっちゃった。大紫という言葉の美しさ。子どもたちがいないのでイメージだけが遊んでいる。幽霊の家。桜木も木もオールになりたかった。香りがふっとしたカチーナドールになるよりも、楓、蜜、メープルシロップをコーヒーに入れるひなのおかがりにゃすこりにゃす、宇宙最古の湖を乗せて飛行していた。夏の日陰のオールのシャボン、そのあっさっさ、あっさっさ、ドドドドメ、ドドドドドドドメ、一角中はふっとつぶやいた。黒くて熟した舌に溶けた。桑の好みおいしかった。山本旅館の旧館大洗濯室ひなの丘。宇宙の木座橋を静かに降りてゆく 大乳ゆりを揺らしている獣たち。ブラック、オールド、セティ、カブリオレ。かわいそうに丘の稲妻にさらし出された木のようだ。石狩シーツ、紙窓に頬杖、白いインクの一角中、手を休めて草陰にうずくまって考えていた。一角の緑の葉っぱの斜めの葉裏が美しい。小織物の世という字のかすかな匂い。横糸が縦糸に話しかけている。飲まれた魚は飲んだ魚。静かに波打つ小織物の声。隣には誰もいない。木の葉がして木の下に木の花が咲いていた。油性のさざ波の小さな道、さざ波の化石をある日道端に見つけた時に、そこから私の道は始まっていたのかもしれなかった。自転車が来て止まり、うずうず中国の一角獣。それは猿のほどけた印だった。私たちは猿のほどけた印。無縁。肌の白さが目に映る。私たちは私たちの地獄を作る。渦中国の一角獣。薄紅の水上生活の名残の濡れ。若き水獣は2階でタムタムを叩く。私たちは宇宙創生の濡れ縁に近づいてきた。近づくほどほどけてくると、トントントントン。私たちの小織物、シーツ、木の葉、箱、シップ。空からぶら下がる母親の宇宙のある晴れた日の旗の母のビジョンであったのかもしれなかった。シワシワシワシワ。カチナドールのシワシワシワ。そのシワを生の中で出会う死のように私たちは編んでゆく。シワシワシワシワ。カチナドールシワシワ。ふっと見ると郵便ボックスの下にしゃがんでいる白いインクの一角獣。ボテンのにじみのようなはがきの寂しさ。はがきの寂しさ。夕暮れの石狩川にサッカーボールが一個の桃のように流れてきた。流木のそばに行った。薄明かり、書物の白紙の紙のしわを 右から左へ書物の喉で少し休んでカーブを書いた。夢の中で海から戻されてきたシワのボールだと初めて知った。島のボールだと初めて知った。その時私は軽かった。軽かったの加工の女性の目が細い緑のどうして石狩河口に座っていたのではなかったか。夢の剣士の青い光河口にサッカーボールの景色を私学中は不思議に思う。岡玉って何？岡玉って何？花火がはじける、バスがはじける、音が入っていない手紙の手はどこの夜の底にあるのか。枯渇した石狩の川、お前だ。私がその川の姿になって立ち上がっていた。木の香りがして木の箱が立っていた。おうばゆりよ、おうばゆりは揺れている姿と音が宇宙の器。インドの白牛の幽霊の遊ぶところ。おうばゆりよ、おうばゆりは。花火の家の入り口ではじけたバス。音が入っていない中川さんは黙って聞いていた。This translation was made by Professor Ifo Smith. Thank you so much.
De kunstwerken zijn van George Bol. En die zijn te zien bij Galerie Frank Taal. De poëzie van Marianne Morris speelt met verwachtingspatronen. Zinnen nemen vaak een verrassende wending en de taal is nu eens complex of abstract, dan weer eenvoudig en herkenbaar. Persoonlijke onderwerpen, liefde, relaties, gezondheid wisselt ze af met of verwerkt ze in maatschappij-kritische prosagedichten. Bijvoorbeeld over de interactie tussen feminisme en taal. Via gedichten dwingt ze ons daar kritisch naar te kijken. Bijvoorbeeld wanneer ze schrijft: mannen en vrouwen hebben ideeën over elkaar die ze in afgelegen ruimtes voeden, waar ze niet in vraag kunnen worden gesteld, alleen versterkt. Morris' werk wordt volgens haar vertaalster Evie Hoste gekenmerkt door veel wisselingen van perspectief en unieke en onverwachte syntactische verbindingen die zich buiten ons dagelijkse discours bevinden. De poëtische taal biedt die mogelijkheid, aldus Morris, en is niet afgeleid van de conventies van gesproken taal, noch van die van theoretische. Het is geen collage, maar een taal die werkelijk op zichzelf staat. Een taal die zichzelf moet uitvinden. Veel van Morris' terugkerende thema's vereisen dat ook. De scheiding tussen lichaam en geest die psychische aandoeningen kan veroorzaken. Het alomtegenwoordige seksisme waarvan de taal doordrongen is. En situaties waarbij er een kloof ontstaat tussen de ervaren werkelijkheid en het kapitalistische systeem waarin wij ons voortbewegen. Genezing van psyche en lichaam spelen een belangrijke rol in deze poëzie. En een van de wegen daar naartoe vormt het zoeken van nieuwe relaties met de natuur. Marianne Morris obtained a PhD in performance writing. Her research led her to looking for a new poetic language by carrying out a series of experiments. One of them consisted of writing on a typewriter, aimed at using the physical and oral character of the experience to give intuition a dominant role in the writing process. Her work is characterized by unique, unexpected syntactic links which are outside everyday discourse, as well as by changes of perspective. Poetic language offers this opportunity, says Morris, and is not derived from the conventions of spoken language, nor from those of theoretical language, and is neither a collage, but a language which really is separate, a language which must invent itself. But her language not just invents itself, it also heals, or finds healing again by forming ties with the natural world. Please give a warm hand to Marianne Morris.
I just wanted to say thank you to Poetry International for having me here and to my translator, Avi Hosta. You poem. You walking up the road, you bird with a hole in its wing, you thought under pressure, you didn't see what I was, you now see what I was, you a space opening up between me and myself, you a breath I took through being alone, you thought reduced to doubling, you blatant reformulation of you and me reformulating you, a praxis, you not singing exactly, you can be forgiven for everything, you absolutely everything, you draw the lines according to what you forgive, arrive late to the games, you a staging of battles, you just wanting more, you of a non-specific bounty, you more and then less of me, you music rising, you up the stairs my thoughts climb, you impose a structure onto the impossible, you eternal suspension. Thank you. Housekeeping. In a house is the silence of what is a home. We either keep a man out or in, debate his sanity, might know to stay away from one instinctively if the colors have dark aureoles, or if the color of one is always smudged out by the color of another, an X, for example, all wounds are ample, knocking on the corners of my head. At each edge I find a little puddle of lethe to drop my crocodile toes in, still expecting to be applauded for my expert mockery. I guess that's why I knew instinctively that a man would not know the answer to my question, how do you deal with female and female identified rage? But instead recommend I read Some Other Man, and the other man said, ridicule is man's most powerful weapon, and I laughed, but underneath it, I was really angry. When I think of real death, as opposed to just lethe, it is unreal, which is how I know there is something in this body that clings to me. When I download the narrative and insert it into my being, or when my legs buckle from crying, or when I float on an ember of my own making home in the car, or when the car turns a city into a countryside, or when the wind whips my hair, or when I see how wrong I am when singing whilst cooking, when the land sprays up a pink tea tree, or a thistle bars the front porch, or when a piece of land has been untouched for a long time, beneath a canopy of fallen netting and dried pine, and the grass is high and dotted with lemon thyme, whose essence fills my nose because I throw myself into it, crush it under my knees and elbows, and it breaks open and releases its oils. Then my feelings sit down at the feet of what felt them. Happy birthday, bitch, please. Once I found out that American Apparel was shutting down, I knew it was safe to go in and browse. I did not purchase the jumpsuit because I remembered the time you kicked me in the stomach wearing it, but once I knew the code, I used it a lot. Tried it in every online checkout, mixed it into my hair, rinsed my hips in it, and called out the promise can for what it is, empty. And like a bald eagle rising from his metallic chair, or from the rocks embedded in my skull, our heads met and kissed. Then, much later, after I had started the initiations, which mostly consisted of gritting my teeth and or crying through the knife point of each thought I was sticking into myself, the vulture aired its wings on the fence, post on the path, and I stood still to let time move. Another time, the vulture was a man, bending over my mouth with his cave mouth open. What if all of time is happening all at once? What does that mean about the wound? It means that it becomes, like everything else, unreal because I unplug myself from it. I am all intention. Intend to unplug from it. Am all attention, attending to the calm places like my lungs, belly, forearms, armpits, back of neck, the stress places, bones, joints, hinges where I had once been all right with bending. The reason autoimmune diseases are more likely to happen to a woman is because the hinges on a woman are stressed more, the researcher speculated. And where, I asked him, are the men? Are the man on the land? Conduct yourself, a current of yourself, how you want it to flow. Unplug myself so I can dive into you. It isn't romantic. Explode you with light. You are an old principle. Your dust is fanatic. I just exist. An ode to Kevin Gates's One Thing. Where you are at is okay. Go fully into it because you will come out the other side. How far back the rape goes, we do not know, except it may have been the origin. An originary rape with an unpronounceable name. A long-held mystery, so originary that unknowing has come to feel like knowing. I dreamt of the song all night. It played in my dreams, the force of it exploding through my fever, my intermittent peace punched by its aggressions. Now I've caught its presence, I can feel it echoing all through my days and nights, like sonic chemtrails polluting my ecosystem, these sparks that rise and go out. My interpretations, wish-based, corroded by hormones, influenced by my belief in magic, starred by ritual. Though there are many things that could be said to have ruined it, it is tempting to say that rape is the source of all ruin, which is why history is personal. The song. It never stops. Seduction song, direction song, song of masculine imbalance, which is feminine imbalance, song of self, feedback looped into masculine imbalance, song of romantic tropes practiced, unmeant, unfelt. Song of performed service, song to perform power, song to perform winning, song to perform defeat, repeat performance, song of infamy posting as comedy, song of battle in a soft field, song I love, song I hate, song I jerk off to, song that triggers my longing, uncomplicated song that makes me feel the outline of something, outline of some specific thing I thought I had and lost but never had, song whose friction was brief, song whose name I repeated, God, and God's song whose thumb mashed my lips to my teeth, song stuffing dick in you slow, song trying to rip your track from your scalp, song bitch, song deepest in you, sorry at the place where you come from, song you come to, song you puff up your chest and be ego in, song you pummel bullies in, song you cross the street in, blonde song who turns your head, blonde song who drives you home, man song who confounds you, man song pussy dripping through your drawers, song please stop. Please stop, please stop, please stop. Yes, a great wound. A many-layered, multi-fingered wound I cannot name, only number one. Rape culture is still 100% in our face, so much so that it can be revealed only slowly, and its veil may be made of gentle laughter and or raucous indulgent repetition and or subtle infamy. 2. Shame is a lie that we tell each other over and over. 3. We are divine, and our sexual energy is inseparable from our divinity. Sex is so commonly used to satisfy egoic desires or to distract from insecurities. But in Tantra, the alchemies of Horus, and the cult of Isis, the power of sex is to elevate and empower us, to charge our ethereal bodies with ecstasy, and to strengthen us against the forces that would turn us against ourselves and each other. 4. Sexual union that happens in mutual respect and love brings a state of surrender that creates a healing electromagnetic field called the microcosmic orbit, which surrounds and nourishes us, expanding our presence and our capacity to give and receive love. 5. The empty space left by a lover is an outline of the infinite possibility of spirit. 6. If a lover is to serve their highest purpose, they must take the infinite form, that you may dissolve yourself into it and be not you. 7. Men and women have ideas about each other, which they nurture in secluded spaces where they cannot be challenged, only reinforced. 8. These ideas create a behavior of expectation which draw out the mirror form they anticipate, first as an idea and second as an energetic possibility. 9. Love brings up all that is not like itself in order that it may be healed. 10. Love's agenda is not conquest, but ecstasy. 11. It is important to notice what turns us on and to understand why it turns us on. 12. Sex profoundly alters the world. How we use it matters. Seed. All the joints and fluid in them, all the bones, we name them, all the names, insufficient in a language that separates, all the separations inadequate to describe the movement of dancing, all the steps split up into names, rocks split up into names, the click of two rocks, then they touch. The pillow a body resembles on a hot rock. The feel of a hot rock is not hard. A rock is hard. A body on a hot rock is neither a rock nor a body. A rock rocking on a rock in a hot sun between a rock and a body is not. Water between rock, between two rocks, between the skin and the fabric is a body. Hot sun on a body, on a hot rock, is sun, is soft, is a body, is day, is time, is several birds playing. Sun on a hot rock makes the rock hotter. Foot on a hot rock makes the foot hotter. Sun on a rock, on a river, around a body is a soft, soft thing. Sun on a body, on a rock, on a river is a soft, soft than a stumbling thing needing to move. A rock on its own in the sun is not on its own. No things are on their own. There are no things, no rocks, no bodies, no sun. There is a sun, there is a soft place, there is a soft, wet place. It is under the stars, also it is of the stars, also it is above them, inside and above them. A hot rock, a star, an exploding sun, a wet body between cloth, between rocks is drying. A wet body on a dry rock is a hot, wet body drying. I feel like a wet seed wild in the ground. That seed that found ground. That seed that fell into hot ground. That seed in a slit. That seed tucked into a slit, split seed opened by moisture, by earth, by a sense of staying, by an urgency most solid. That seed most solid, most splitting, most mapped out splitting. Nine different kinds of doctor. Last week, it was convinced that the World Trade Center had been detonated by the US government. Fire aflame the face, hoarse nostrils. Am I a host of nothing? So precious wandering. The morning has this intention behind it which is continually interrupted by my hand reaching for internet, so long to those specific magical arrangements, drowned in exposure. But I am in the dark room. The light is so sparse. I've given up thinking about sex. The flowers are gone now, but seeds arranged in their place, organized into symmetries, shake them out into the earth. Birds will be mad at me. But none of those flowers know how to grow. The fact of things not going well is stamped out in a lung full of smoke, which wakes me in the early morning before I am ready and is dry and is haunting. I think I have taught myself prosody, which means I have cut narrative out of myself like a hole, which reopens again and again at the doctor, 9 different kinds of doctor, 1 witch doctor, 2 plant doctor, 3 needles doctor, 4 other needles doctor, 5 speculum doctor, 6 drugs doctor is my favorite, 7 judgy doctor, 8 intuitive doctor, 9 doctor underground. But each one of them has a story, just tells it either through me or against me. And the answer is going to be that I feel better, even when I don't, even when the wound reopens. K.O. My belly pops with stars where they put the needles in, so I crush myself into bed, ears popping with wheat and oat straw, crush the yarrow beneath my shoulders, grappling with an obscure wrangling I still can't vocalize. It is a rock I am inhaling, hoping to improve my life with enough cash to pay, to spray, paint my body with golden sun, to spray, paint my naked body with naked golden sun, and retreat to the bedroom at night with the dancing bears, and console myself with a decoction of tears. This rock I am inhaling is gold in my mouth. All of my rocks are gold. Gold falls out of my bra when I stoop to pick up the gold that fell out of my hair. My skin is gold, my fingernails, ideas are gold, my refusal is gold, my refusal is gold, it goes from rock to gold to golden. Path I am walking along is golden, light that falls along it golden, grass is golden, garlic tops are golden, the odyssey we just ended is golden, the conjuncts are golden, the work is golden, the needles are gold, the seeds are gold. The clarity is golden is the one I am writing for. The flame is golden is the night I am writing in. The day I am crying in is golden, 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 golden. The woman, refusal, rage, and righteousness, golden. The sage I smudge the door and car with, golden. With what I endured. A lion devouring the sun, golden, a lecture about suffering and silence, golden, a gold pear mixed with salt and honey and yellow lemons. The missing is golden, the hatred is golden, the healing is golden, the healing and healer are golden and gold. The transformation is not golden, but leads to gold. The vast fields of infirmity and disastrous oppositions. Competition is lifetimes of servitude, but rewards without boundaries are not limitless. This should end up looking like a kind of logic, although is precisely what I dismissed yesterday, the end of days. The future is now, divided by sleeping, divided by energy and information into attention and focus, into an undivided path we are walking, not separately, but as one motion forward. This is the last poem. More than one way to burn a witch. There is more than one way to burn a witch. It's 1497, it's 2016, it's Europe, it's North America, it's oil, it's gas, it's something about how numb you have to be in order to care more about money, control, aggregation of power, profit, corporate expansion, tipping the balance, exploitation, rape, than the earth that gave you life. How numb you have to be in order to only be able to escape tribal law through aggregation of the aforementioned, can only dream in paper green, can only rape your way to the top, can only exploit your way up, can only be a man, can only be a man, can only lie your way to the top, can only be a man, can only be a man, and the feminisms are a new war, can only be a man. Only a woman would. Only a man would. Only a woman would. Only a man would. A woman always. A woman never. A man always. A man never. Stop up your mouth. Swear to me you will never say never or always again. The new earth is here. It is beautiful. Thank you.
De Chinese dichter Zang wordt in China tot de intellectuele school gerekend. Door hem werd die definitie uitgebreid tot intellectuele, metafysische en sensuele school. Ofwel, begrenzing is hem vreemd. Dat zie je in de wijze waarop hij planten, dieren en dingen tot leven wekt. Maar ook in de taal die hij gebruikt, met een fijn gevoel voor het fysieke en naar Chinese maatstaven onorthodox gebruik van syntaxis, titels en woorden. Verder zien we in zijn werk veel verwijzingen naar schrijvers uit westerse, met name symbolistische en surrealistische tradities. Zang denkt na in zijn gedichten, bijvoorbeeld over de veranderde manier waarop mensen tegen leven en dood aankijken. De onmogelijkheid voor sommigen om langdurige relaties aan te knopen of de vraag naar de essentie van het leven. Hij doet dat niet vanuit een ivoren toren, maar staat midden in de wereld en stelt haar op humoristische en vooral ook zintuigelijke wijze zijn vraag. Buskaartjes kunnen bij Zang tegelijk bioscoopkaartjes en lottokaartjes zijn. Als hij woorden met erwten vergelijkt, zie je ze groen door de pan rollen. In 100 jaar eenzaamheid van de poëzie spreekt hij op geheel eigen wijze een dichter aan en zegt: wat betreft jouw poëzie, zij ontslaat taal, omdat taal werk te serieus neemt. Ze deelt een klap uit aan het dienstbare object. Ze doet het condoom van de versleer uit. Ze onthult het onmogelijke. En in Hoe wordt het leven gesmeed serie verzekert hij ons dat het hart van de mens heel dicht bij de gehaktmolen is. Met de balans tussen de abstracte wereld van het denken en die van de lichamelijkheid lijkt mij in deze poëzie dan ook weinig mis. In China, Zang is considered a member of the intellectual school, expanded by himself into intellectual, metaphysical and sensual school. By this he means to say that any form of limitation is alien to him, for example in the way in which he brings plants, animals and objects to life. Zang does present himself as someone who reflects, but his reflections are on everyday themes like the different way people look at life and death, the inability to have a long-term relationship, or the essence of life. The questions he asks himself about these issues are often phrased in both a humorous and sensory way. Bus tickets can be cinema tickets and lottery tickets at the same time in his poems. And when he compares words with peas, you really see them rolling around in the pan in all of their green glory. The poet not only demonstrates a fine feeling for the physical. There's no point to brainwashing, he says in one poem. When the crutch has been washed, that means that the washing is thorough. Let's get intellectually physical and sensual with Zang.
Good evening. The first poem. 生活是怎么炼成的？丛书。节目单上风景已排到了不起眼的地方，难怪最近的账单越来越像节目单。房租要交，房贷要还，每样吃的东西都已被污染。那么小的胃，矛盾于我们很渺小，却竟然一直在替宇宙冒险。人心挨着绞肉机，每个机会都像是深渊之间的缝隙。比钢铁是怎么炼成的还要极端的是，生活是怎么炼成的。魔鬼训练，人人都有份，用不着担心你会过不了关。凡想催眠现实的人，最终都难免被现实催眠。凡是用运气解决的事，最终都变成了一种暧昧的耻辱。死亡不再是一种平静，而是一种愤怒，一种深奥的冷漠，有点像死亡 是怎么炼成的。每个人都死过不止一次，活着像是植物栽培，并且分散到了不同的地方。你的根在这里，你的叶子在那里，你的花儿在你不知道的地方，插在你从未见过的瓶子里。有趣的工作还是看你爱不爱动手，它就像是给希望换轮胎。假如超速了，绝望不会被罚款；假如诗不能拯救你，其他的启示肯定会更微妙。死亡不再像以往能中断任何事情，但旅行却可以。大河在奔流，旅行就像从激流的河水中抽回的一只脚。票一点都不紧张，你在这里买不到的电影票，在那里你肯定能买到车票。记住，车票不只是车票，同时还是电影票。难怪车票还可以同时是彩票。人的风景正将人从风景中推向只出售单程票的那个窗口。The second one， 牵线人丛书。看什么都必须要先转过脸去，这就是他。假如是直接面对，他会比地震中的一条狗还紧张，怎么看世界都不如一只猫那么顺眼。他有时会控制不住，在人和狗之间有一种比较。他对待猫比对待狗要严肃。他曾说服自己要像爱猫一样爱上一个人。他的结论是，爱怎么比数学还难。他苦于灵魂不愿被束缚，与他为敌的事物里有大学、地铁和电视。电视里的野兽会从屏幕里跑出来，舔他的眉毛和耳环。这样的事好像不止发生过好几回。于是每一样需要接触的东西最终都变成了一种需要克服的事情。他对环境有特殊的敏感，他不断变换环境，在一个地方待久了，人就会变成废墟。于是他比任何人都更频繁地从废墟中走出来，这似乎是他不可抗拒的规律。他自己偶尔也能从中认识到这一点。新欢中已有无人能意识到的瑕疵，他受不了瑕疵，或者说他受不了别人也会有他身上的那些瑕疵。不完全是需要缓和矛盾的问题。记忆里旧爱在缥缈中似乎稍好一点。洗脑算什么？腰被洗了才是被彻底洗了。他知道这个世界上存在着用腰思考的人。下面垫得再高点，他也许会在更遥远的地方看见这首诗的尾巴。枫糖叶入门。整个下午，本地的枫糖叶扭动着琥珀色的腰肢，从各种陌生的角度向你兜售一记甜蜜的老拳。如何出手？难道还需要用时间的政治再把你的眼睛再蒙上一次吗？靶子是现成的，一直都隐藏在你身上，即便明确成对象，也是彼此较着劲，比客观还漂亮。唯一需要解释的是，这里老究竟涉及怎样的含义？剔透到浓稠，但它并不隐瞒这树蜜是从高达40米的枫树上采集来的，而那些开凿在树干上的小洞，作为甜蜜的通道， 他们的历史已有1600年。仅凭这一点，他已指出你的记忆存在有怎样的缺陷，且亟待通过这些密页的注入，才能重返荒野中的停留。那里经过原始的消化，甜蜜的暴力仿佛已练就了一种绝对的分寸，足以从内部将你直接唤醒到纯粹的原形之中。夜鸟丛书。我梦见我们在一起时一直是3个人，你说那另外一个其实是只鸟。我叫你的名字时，那只鸟也一直在叫。你叫我的名字时，它仍在叫。它的叫声像一根缀着夜露的管子，从黝黑的窗外伸了进来。我们安静下来时，它的叫声依然持续不断。它的叫声有确定的含义，只是里面没有一个名字。它的叫声里包含着一种更大的呼唤。以前我以为那不可能存在于人的叫喊之外。The fifth poem. 蘑菇丛书。悲观主义者很少会爱上蘑菇，或者像你那样忠实于蘑菇带给人的身体的感觉。常识告诉你，没背叛过虚无的人不会有兴趣了解蘑菇的精神。他们的翻滚甚至比肉体做得还好。他们翻滚在平底锅里，翻滚在你的喉咙深处，柔滑鲜嫩，丝毫也不惧怕你会夺走他们的一切。凡乐观主义者能想到的真理，他们都会给出一种形状；凡你想隐瞒的事，他们都能给予最深切的谅解。他们闻到了小鸡肉的味道，他们喜欢大蒜和西兰花签下的合同。他们撑开的降落伞降落着，直到在你心里变成了一个营养丰富的小神。消失和消化的区别，也许没有你想的那么大。在消失之前，他们中的一个从里面递出一份新菜谱，请求下一次你能更耐心地咀嚼蘑菇身上的暗示。还从未有过一种暗示比他们更接近宇宙的暗示。The sixth poem. 是非协会。在策兰和阿米还之间有一个杜甫，我们应该打一眼井，把他从下面拽上来。我们总得抽出点时间，听听来自地下的口信。在阿米还和特朗斯瑞姆之间有一个王维，我们应该把青山挖一个洞，把他从蛇的睡眠王国里唤醒。在策兰和特朗斯瑞姆之间有一个李商隐，我们应该凿开惊呆了的石头，用1000年的鸟粪把他的影子慢慢烤成一块面包。在阿米还和台的休斯之间有一个姜夔，我们应该把它从树里面抠出来，放进篮子，再用滑轮和绳子把它吊到树顶。在那里，篮子会变回鸟巢，我们仿佛又迂回到了人和鸟一起是非的年代。The last one. 连翘入门。旁边的迎春花可不止一簇，你不可将我认错。 你不可偏爱地堂的企图，你不可误解我的烂漫微妙于大地的天真。如果这是呼吁，那么呐喊已被偏听。你不可再将我的黄与别的金黄混淆为人生的疏忽。最要紧的，你不可将我用一对蝴蝶击败了世界的主人解释成现场已被破坏。Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Please take your glass or cup or anything you brought in here back with you out there. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy the closing program. And have a great last bit of the festival. Bye.